Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Adhikanta Namastute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpataruvyascha Kripa Sandhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20. The Lord's appearance in a sacrificial arena. Text 24. Na kamaye na tatada vyaham kwachin na jatra yushmad charanam buja sava mahatamantari hridayan mukachutu vidat swakarana yutame same varan. Na, not. Kamaye, do I desire. Nata, O Master. That. Api, even. Aham, I. Kwachit, at any time. Na, not. Jatra, where. Yushmat, your. Charana Ambuja, of the lotus feet. Asava, the nectarian beverage. Mahatama, of the great devotees. Antahridayat, from the core of the heart. Mukha, from the mouth. Chiuta, being delivered. Bidatswa, give. Karana, yes. Ayutam, 1 million. Esa, this, me, my. Vara, benediction. Translation and purport by His Divine Graces, Confounder 𝐁𝐡𝐤𝐬 Bhakti Swami 𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐤𝐬. My dear Lord, I therefore do not wish to have the benediction of merging into your existence, a benediction in which there is no existence of the nectarian beverage of your lotus feet. I want the benediction that at least 1,000,000 years, for those I may be able to hear about the glories of your lotus feet from the mouth of your pure devotees. Purport. In the previous verse, Maharaj Prithu addressed the Lord as Kaivalya Pati, the master of the liberation of merging into his existence. This does not mean that he was anxious for Kaivalya liberation. That is made clear in this verse. My dear Lord, I do not want such a benediction. Maharaj Prithu wanted to have 1,000,000 years to hear the glories of the lotus feet of the Lord. He specifically mentioned that the glories of the Lord should emanate from the mouths of pure devotees who speak from the cause of their heart. It is stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam 113. Sukha Mukhad Amrita Dravya Samyutam. The nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam became more relishable because it emanated from the mouths of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. One might think that these glories of the Lord can be heard from anywhere, from the mouths of either devotees or non-devotees, but here it is specifically mentioned that the glories of the Lord must emanate from the mouth of pure devotees. Sri Sanatana Goswami has strictly prohibited hearing from the mouth of a non-devotee. There are many professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam who speak the narrations very ornamentally, but the pure devotee does not like to hear from them because such glorification of the Lord is simply a vibration of material sound. But when heard from the mouth of a pure devotee, glorification of the Lord is immediately effective. The words Satam Prasangam Mama Virya Sabidha, Bhagavatam 3:25-25, means that glorification of the Lord is potent when uttered from the mouth of a pure devotee. The Lord has innumerable devotees all over the universe, and they have been glorifying the Lord since time immemorial, and for an unlimited time. But still, they cannot completely finish enumerating the glories of the Lord. Prithu Maharaj therefore wanted innumerable years, as Rupa Goswami also desired to have millions of years and millions of tongues to chant and hear the glorification of the Lord. In other words, if our ears are always engaged in hearing the glorification of the Lord, there will be no scope for hearing the Mayavad philosophy, which is doomed to spiritual progress. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that if anyone hears from a Mayavadi philosopher preaching about the activities of the Lord, even if it is a description from the Vedic literature, he is ultimately doomed. By hearing such Mayavad philosophy, one cannot come to the destination of spiritual perfection of life. That is the end of Srila Prabhupada's purport to text 24, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20, entitled Lord Vishnu's Appearance in the Sacrificial Arena. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prithu Maharaj continue his prayers to the Lord. I therefore do not wish to have the benediction of merging into your existence. Yesterday he said, "Oh Lord, who can give benediction of merging into him?" Today he said, but that is not what I'm looking for. I am not asking you for benediction of merging into you. The benediction I want from you is that you should give me millions of ears to hear the nectarian beverage of your activities, your qualities. I want the benediction of at least minimum 1 million years. So what is Prithu Maharaj showing here? Prithu Maharaj is showing his ecstatic symptoms of pure love of Godhead. To have the desire for at least 10 million years, this is ecstatic symptom of Prithu Maharaj. We should not be surprised. We should not be surprised that Prithu Maharaj is having this ecstatic symptom of hearing Krishna Katha. His position is nicely described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Prithu Maharaj's devotion is so great, is so strong. This Bhakti is not a small thing. It's so strong that when Lord Krishna appeared before Prithu Maharaj, Krishna was not touching the earth. Krishna came to settle Prithu Maharaj and Lord Indra. But when Krishna came before Prithu Maharaj, Lord Krishna had to step down. He couldn't stay on top. His feet came down because he would have fallen down because of the ecstatic symptom of love of Prithu Maharaj. Lord Krishna had to support himself by standing on the ground. That is Prithu Maharaj. He's not an ordinary person. He's a king, Raja, Rishi. He is an incarnation, is a expansion of Lord Krishna. But his devotion is so strong. Lord Krishna had to support himself coming in front of his devotee. That's Prithu Maharaj. So it is not a surprise that the Prithu Maharaj is at least give me 1 million years to hear about their qualities, about their glories. He did it. And whom am I going to hear your glories from? From your devotees. I want to hear from your devotees. Not ordinary person. Ordinary person will not speak Krishna Katha. Ordinary person can make noise, but they cannot speak Krishna Katha because he doesn't have the qualification. Krishna is not revealed to him. When Krishna appeared before Dhruva Maharaj couldn't speak because he's a boy. Although he's a pure devotee, but he was a boy. Lord Krishna has to touch his head with his conch shell, which contain all the Vedas. The conch shell of Krishna contain all the Vedas. When he touched his forehead with everything revealed to him. And the remaining subtle thing which is there for Prithu Maharaj for his bhakti disappeared. And then he offered beautiful prayers. And Prabhupada said, only when a person is blessed by Lord Krishna that one will be able to offer such a quality prayer to Lord Krishna. It's an empowerment. It's a blessing. One cannot do this without being blessed by the Lord. Thus I may be able to hear about the glories of your lotus feet from the mouths of your pure devotees. Pure devotees speaks. And what are the pure devotees speaking? What are they doing by speaking? They are planting Krishna in the heart of those who are suitable, those who are qualified to hear Krishna, those whose the heart is fertile. When pure devotees speak, they are not just vibrating some words. No, they are planting Krishna in the heart of those who are hearing. Not everybody hears. But those who are qualified to hear, the pure devotee will plant Krishna in the heart. That is the desire of pure devotees, as we were speaking yesterday. The desire of pure devotees. They want to hear only from pure devotees. But listen. Shrivas Pandit, he went to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Devananda Pandit, who is not a pure devotee. You understand? We are to hear from a pure devotee. Last month, one of our committee members, he was invited to go and speak in a community that is not a Vaishnava community. But they invite devotees. They do all kinds of things. Or Shiva can go, any person can go, any person can be chanted. So he was invited to come there and speak. So he put the question to the group. And Prabhupada said, the milk which is touched by the leaves of a serpent is a poison. Is it still poison today or it is past? The first question. Second question, if it is still poison till today, should we go there? So many philosophers were coming from different places. No, you should not go. No, you shouldn't go. It is still poison. Don't go. Okay, you should not go. But it is very good to hear. Our philosophy, our teaching, this movement is very deep. Don't hover on the surface. You should go down the ocean. Go down the depth of the ocean. That is Christian consciousness. So then, this thing came to my mind. Devananda Pandit is not a pure devotee. And he speaks Bhagavatam every day. From childhood, this is what he does. From childhood, he speaks Bhagavatam. But Shrivas Pandit went to hear. Is that poison or nectar? This is my question to all of you. If you ask me a question. So, think. You should think. Is that poison or nectar? Here, Prabhupada has mentioned that we shouldn't hear from non-devotees. There are many professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam who speak the narration very ornamentally, but a pure devotee does not like to hear them. Because such glorification of the Lord is simply a vibration of material sound. So what did Shrivas Pandit hear when he went to Devananda Pandit's house to hear Bhagavatam? What did he hear? Material sound or spiritual sound? Don't forget, to hear from a non-devotee, it is dangerous. Devananda Pandit, that time he was Mayavadi. When he was speaking Bhagavatam, he said Mayavadi. He was speaking Bhagavatam every day, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house, it was just opposite his house. And he never one day go to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is that a devotee? Devananda Pandit. Is that a devotee? He never one day go to visit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he sees every day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and billions of people come to him, but he never went there. But he's speaking Bhagavatam every day. Sima Bhagavatam, the same Bhagavatam you are reading. But we shouldn't hear Krishna Katha from a non-devotee. But Srivas Pandit went to hear him. And you know what happened? You know what happened to Srivas Pandit? When he went to hear, he fell unconscious. The speaker did not experience anything because he's an ordinary person, not a devotee. So he didn't experience. He was speaking ordinary word, like Prabhupada said here. He was just vibrating ordinary word. But Srivas Pandit, a devotee, when he went to hear, he fell unconscious from the same Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to him and said, "Hey, Devanath Pandit, I'm talking to you. You are speaking Bhagavatam? Are you speaking Bhagavatam? Is it Bhagavatam you are speaking? Tell me, what is offense of Srivas Pandit? What is his offense?" He came to hear Bhagavatam in your house. And because Bhagavatam's every single word is full of nectar, Srivas, a devotee, he fell unconscious. But your rascal disciples threw him out of your house. And you did nothing because you are the same like your disciples. All of you are the same, useless. Guru is useless, the disciple is useless. So there's no difference. When they did something wrong, you couldn't correct them because you are the same like your disciples. Your disciples are like you. So you tell me what is the offense of Srivas Thakura? What is the offense? Devanath Pandit kept quiet. So it is mentioned that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used the stick of his word to beat Devanath Pandit. The stick of his word to do what? He caned him. What? The word. Not what the physical stick. With this word. He caned him seriously. And Devanath Pandit was he was silent, he couldn't say anything. When this happened, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was not showing his symptom of a devotee at that time. He was a Pandit, Nimai Pandit, when this incident happened. But he is a Paramatma in the heart of all living entities. So he knows everything. He knows everything. So when it was time, he came to him and chastised him. He caned him seriously with the stick of his word. Devanath Pandit felt ashamed and kept quiet. So my question was, what did Srivas Pandit have? What did he hear from the Mayavadi? What did he hear? What did he hear that made him fell unconscious in ecstasy? He was not. He didn't fall out of epilepsy. It is due to prema. From Bhagavatam, he had Bhagavatam. For Mayavadi, he felt conscious. So what did he hear that made him unconscious? This is my question. Now you tell me. Did you get my question? Yes. Okay. You think about it? You're thinking. Okay. You think about it. Krishna consciousness is meant for first class intelligent devotees. So as I'm asking all of you are very intelligent devotees. So my question is from Bhagavatam, is from our circle, not from outside. So you think about it. Oh, learned men of the Bhaktivedanta schools, you tell me. After you think about it. So, Bhagavatam should be heard from a pure devotee, not from a bogus speaker. In the first canto, Prabhupada said, no one should dare sit on the asana if the person is not free from the vices. No one should sit on asana. We should not allow someone to sit on asana if the person is not free from the vices. Only a person who is free from the 4 vices should sit on asana and speak, because to sit here is he or she is a representative of Vyasadeva. Vyasa asana, the seat of Vyasadeva. So one who is representing him must be spotless in character. And that was the qualification the sages saw in Sutra Goswami that they approach him. They say, you have character. Your character is so transparent. Because of your character, you are qualified that we have approached you to give us a solution to our dilemma. And he gave them the solution. That is the transcendental relationship between the speaker and the hearer. Both of them must be bona fide. Then there will be transmission, then there will be potency, then there will be transformation. Transformation. So, we should try to understand what we are trying to do. Understand? Let us try to understand what we are trying to do. What are we trying to do? We are venturing into something which is transcendental, pure, powerful, and without end. This is what we are trying to do. What is the process? The process is being discussed here. We should desire unlimited ears to hear Bhagavatam. Our eagerness to hear Bhagavatam should take us to this point. Petu Maharaj, look at the level of his eagerness. He wants to hear Krishna Katha from pure devotee with millions, at least, if you don't give me more than 1 million, at least a million, 1 million. It is not about the number. The meaning is that Prithu Maharaj is very, very eager to hear about Krishna. Eagerness to hear. Prabhupada mentioned in first canto, many places, eagerness to hear is the qualification to hear Krishna Katha. Eagerness to hear. We should be eager to hear. That is the qualification. Eagerness. So Prithu Maharaj is very eager to hear. Srila Rupa Goswami also is very, very eager to hear. That he wanted millions of tongues or millions of ears to chant and hear the holy name of Krishna. To chant the holy name of Krishna, to hear about Krishna, we should be very, very eager. Like Rupa Goswami, Prithu Maharaj. And also Vrindavan Das Thakur, he said. No, Indra was cursed to have how many eyes? How many eyes? Indra's body. Indra has how many eyes? 10,000 eyes. How many thousands of eyes Indra has? Indra. At least thousands, okay? Right? He has thousands of eyes. And his body, because of a sinful activity he performed. Krishna consciousness can transform anything and everything. It's Krishna. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he delivered Jagan Madai, Yamaraj, he had it when the demigod were glorifying Lord Krishna or Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for delivering Jagan Madai. The demigod were showering flowers on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, were glorifying him. The kirtan attracted the attention of Yamaraj. So he came on to see what is happening. And he saw that Jagai and Madai were delivered. So he asked his secretary, Chitragupta, can you bring the file of Jagai and Madai? Chitragupta said, why you ask? Why you ask for this? Even if you bring 100 servants to join with me, we will not be able to count the sinful activity performed by Jagai and Madai. Just to hear about it, one could faint. Why you ask about this? Hearing this, and Yamaraj saw that they were delivered. He started the kirtan to glorify Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He fainted unconscious. That time Yamaraj forgot his duty. The first time he forgot his duty. He couldn't do his duty because he fell unconscious from his chariot. He fell off from the air. He fell down. The demigod Lord Brahma saw Lord Shiva, they saw, what happened to Yamaraj? What happened? Other demigod, they said, what happened? Indradev, they said, what happened? So Chitragupta told them that the activity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made him to faint. They started kirtan. Lord Shiva danced in the kirtan that his dhoti, he was naked. He didn't know he was naked. His hair was flying the whole sky. Then Lord Indra considered, my thousands of eyes has become perfected. Now my cause is no more a cause, a benediction for me, because now I have thousands of eyes to witness the activities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's a benediction. You have thousands of eyes to hear, to participate. There was big kirtan, big kirtan. Indradev, he felt blessed. Yes. I was thinking it was a curse on me. But today, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has turned my curse into a blessing. I can see these wonderful pastimes. So the devotees are very eager to hear. Prithu Maharaj wanted minimum 1,000 years. Rupa Goswami wanted millions of years, millions of tongues to chant the holy name. The devotees, they have the same pattern because it's the same process we have. So they are showing us the path that we should be very, very eager in our Krishna consciousness. We should be very eager to hear about Krishna. To whenever there is a chance to hear about Krishna, to speak about Krishna, you should take it very, very seriously. That is the message from Prithu Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Comments, questions? Yes.
My question is, when you're preaching with a Mayavadi, how you deal with this Mayavadi? You're preaching Krishna.
We should not preach to Mayavadis as we shouldn't hear from them. We should not also preach to them. Because it is all contamination. It is contamination. So we don't preach to them. We don't also hear them. We should not hear them. Why we shouldn't hear Mayavad philosophy? Why we shouldn't hear? Because you see, Lord Shiva dressing is a horizontal mark on the head. This mark is demonic sign. This horizontal mark is demonic sign. Demonic. So one day Parvati said, my dear Lord, you are my husband. You are my husband. He said, yes, you are my wife. I know you are my wife. That means that we are very intimate. Yes, we're intimate. So I can ask you any question? He said, yes, now. You are my wife, so what do you want? I have confidential question from what you told me. I want to ask a question from what you told me. So, but I'm afraid to ask you this question. That is why I'm drawing your attention. A husband and wife, no, our relationship is very intimate. So she will say, ask me anything. Ask me. She said, the question I want to ask is about what you told me. I said, my question is from the lecture you gave. She said, yes, ask me. So Parvati said, you told me You told me yourself that people with the horizontal tilak on their feet, they are demons. 𝐶𝐸𝐴 said yes. So my husband is a demon? That's why I was afraid to ask you. Can you call your husband a demon? Will you call your husband a demon? So I wouldn't like to. I cannot say my husband is a demon, but you told me that this mark is for demons, and it's on your forehead. That is my my question. And he also saw that people with skulls and ashes on the body found in crematorium, they are also not clean people. But this is what I see you do every day. So what is this? I hope you are not angry with me. I'm asking you a question. And she will say, no, don't worry. Come closer. Come closer. Sit here. Sit closer. So Parvati was happy. So, okay, he's not angry. He's not angry with me. I thought you're going to be angry with me. No, sit close. Let me tell you. You see all those things in my body? He said, yes. Yes, I saw. That is why I asked you, because this is what you told me. I couldn't say my husband is a demon, but I saw all these things with you. And you said these are demonic signs that you not see. If you see a person with this mark, you should look at the sun, you go and bathe and see. Or you chant Hare Krishna to get purified. So Lord Shiva said, yes, I want to tell you this. Sit very close and listen to me. You see everything on my body. Lord Vishnu who asked me to do it. Lord Vishnu? Say yes, Lord Vishnu. This is my service for Lord Vishnu. This morning we're talking about Lord Shiva. You should listen. So, why would Lord Vishnu tell you to do this? Himself, he doesn't wear this mark. Why would he give you this kind of a service? You say it's a service. Why would he give you this kind of a service? Why? Why he don't do it himself? Lakshmi would not like to see him like this. And he told my husband to do this. What is that? Yeah, it's a good question. I will tell you. I will tell you the history. So Lord Shiva said, generally, you don't see any demon worshipping Vishnu. Never. They will go to me, Shiva, they go to Brahma. But they will not go to Vishnu. But there are some demons, they worship Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu became present in their mind, in their heart. So it became very powerful, and they started tormenting the whole world. You find it in 8th canto. You find it in 8th canto. These demons, it's in 8th canto. So the demigods were very, very disturbed. They cannot do anything to them. Lord Vishnu is in heart. How can you fight Vishnu? And they were really demonic. They were really doing heavy, harmful activities. We couldn't do them anything. So they went to Lord Vishnu and said, Lord Vishnu, please help us to do this service. Killing these demons, they are really tormenting us. So Lord Vishnu came to me and he said, Mahadev, I have a service for you, for a devotee. For a devotee, Kavi Karnapura Goswami. He said, when there is a chance for service, a sincere servant is very, 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 very enthusiastic and happy to do the service. With chance, it's a chance. A faithful servant is very happy when there is a chance to serve. So Lucifer was very happy, very happy. Please give me the service. So Lord Vishnu said, I want you to create a very dark scripture that the philosophy is against me. Now Lucifer said, what, my dear, what is this? This is a service? How can I do that? I know you are the supreme. How can I say they are not the supreme? How can I say you have no form? How can I say you are formless? How can I say that? What puts him out? But Bishop said, no, this is a service. This is a service. Divide this scripture and you should become an acharya to preach this philosophy. And I give the strength to this philosophy that anyone who hears this, I will disappear from the person's heart. Krishna empowered this philosophy. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is warning us seriously. Don't hear, because Lord Vishnu has empowered this philosophy demonically. Anyone who hears this will never be Krishna conscious. So that you can preach to this demon, as soon as they will hear this, I will disappear from the heart. The demon will be able to kill them. It's a service I want you to do. So Lucifer said, okay, I will do it, but how will I protect myself? Because I'm going to speak the philosophy. Who hears will be bereft of you. What about me? Who is going to speak? So Lord Vishnu said, don't worry, I will give you my expansion. What is the deity of Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva's deity. We worship deities every day. Lord Shiva worship deity also. What is his deity? Huh? Lord Shiva's deity. Sankarshan. Sankarshan means who? Who is Sankarshan? Lord Balaram. That is Lord Shiva's deity. He worship Lord Balaram. So Krishna gave him that. The snake on Lord Shiva's neck is not a snake, it's Lord Balaram. So you meditate on this, you chant this mantra, you'll be free, you'll not be affected. So Lord Shiva accepted the service, decorated himself with these marks, and he designed himself like that. So you see everything on Lord Shiva's body, it is a service given to him by Lord Vishnu to do. And he incarnated as Sankaracharya. That's Lord Shiva expansion, Sankaracharya. That is why it is very dangerous to hear this philosophy. Because Lord Vishnu empowered it. Who hears, Krishna will disappear from the heart. Got it? Therefore, we should not hear and we should not preach to them. But how will you know? That is Mayavadis. If we are a Sankirtan devotee, how will you know? We will know when we preach, when we approach people. They will know who is a Mayavadi, who is a innocent person. They will know. Once we know, we discover, oh, this is a Mayavad. Bye. Go to another person and continue. That is the process. Right? Make sense? Does it make sense? Okay. So Lord Shiva is not just doing that on his own. Not say Lord Shiva is a different person. It's the service, Lord Vishnu's service, which he doesn't want to do, he will give it to Shiva. Yes, sir.
In the line of the discourse, you did make mention of something that appeared for there to be transformation in the heart of the listener, the speaker, and the hearer must be bona fide.
Yes.
Now, we do see that over the course of time, um, we've been hearing a lot of speakers speaking so many things, and a lot of, and also sitting on the Vyasasana, so many people, they sit on the Vyasasana and they say so many things. Now, and we also see that after so many years that the speaker has been speaking, the listener has been hearing, but still the listener is still the same way. The character does not change, but the attitude of the listener is still the same. And the speaker is still repeating the same thing again and again and again. Now, here begs the question, is it that the listener is not properly bona fide, or the speaker is not properly bona fide? This is the question, Guruji.
Right, thank you. It is true that we sit in a class, but don't think that everybody is hearing. Not everybody hears. Very few people hear. Bandabanda Sakura said, those who hear a class, they will practice. Those who doesn't hear, they will not practice. So hearing, we should try to understand everything. Hearing is not just sitting in a class or the sound. That's not hearing. The sound can hit on our ears and fall off. That is not hearing. That is what most of us do. Hearing means the sound penetrates into the ear and it comes to the heart. That is hearing. So many people sit in a class, but they're already blocked, so they don't hear anything. Don't you see sometimes someone, not blind person, he walks into somebody in the street? Eh? What is that? Why? Why does that happen? He's not blind. Oh, I'm sorry. What is responsible for that? The person is not blind. Why? Because the eye is not seeing, the heart is engaged in something else. So therefore, the eye is not seeing. Similarly, the mind is not hearing. The mind is busy somewhere else, so the ear doesn't hear. So the sound is being vibrated, but it's not entering into us. That is what most of us do. There are qualifications to hear. There are qualifications to hear. There are qualifications to speak. There are qualifications to hear. We have mentioned many times the 4 kinds of hearers. You don't? We have mentioned many times. 4 kinds of people hear. That is principal one. There are more classifications. So don't think that everybody hears in the class. If you want to know, I'll give you an experiment which is not difficult. Just make a sound now. The whole people will look at you. Nobody will look at me. You make an experiment here now. You see, everybody will look there, not me. The person who is hearing cannot do that. He's stuck there. The person who's hearing is stuck with the speaker because he's drinking, so he cannot take the eye out. Any little thing happen here, everybody's eye goes there. Is that hearing? We do that regularly. It's embarrassing when we see that, but that is what we have. It's regularly. Yes. So we are not hearing. We are not hearing properly. That is one. Second thing is that it is not easy to change. To change is not easy. To change. Difficult to change. It takes some time to change. Because we've been accustomed to the immaterial energy, we have been accustomed to that. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, our secondary nature has become primary nature. And our primary nature has become secondary. And then his Bhakti Maharaj said, our secondary nature has become secondary nature has become primary up to the point that most of us think that we are material beings trying to become spiritual. Many people, oh, this is not my culture. Christian culture, this is not my culture. I asked one devotee, what is your culture? This is not my culture. What is your culture? What is your culture? This is our original culture, forgotten. But we think it's foreign. Or practicing foreign thing, foreign religion. Who told you this is foreign religion? This is our eternal occupation. This is our eternal occupation. But we have forgotten about it. So material life is like primary life now. So spiritual life is, when I have time, let me be busy with it. Be busy first. When I have time, then I'll chant my rounds. Then you see some people, they struggle, they dance, and their bead is hanging, fasting from morning till night. All right? So we don't hear. So we should practice hearing. If you want to hear, we should learn what are the qualities that make us to hear. Prithu Maharaj taught one here, eagerness, to hear. A person who is eager, he will hear. Did you see Parashar Maharaj blink his eyes when he was hearing from Sukadeva Goswami? 7 days. No, didn't. He confessed. Gurudev, you made a miracle in my life. Something which I couldn't do for a moment, I have done it for a week. You know the miracle? Huh? I was thirsty for a moment, I couldn't control my taste, so I committed an offense to a sage by gallantering him with a snake. Just a moment. I couldn't tolerate the taste. But here I'm sitting with you 7 days, I'm not feeling thirsty. Huh? Isn't it a miracle? Why? But why was he so attached like that? Because he's eager to hear. Huh? 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita was had in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Not 30 hours. Minutes. By Arjuna. Why? He's eager. He's eager not to hear from Krishna. We facilitate Bhagavad Gita, but I cannot say I know Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna got it 30 minutes. 30. And not a Brahman, he's a Kshatriya. What's the qualification? Eagerness to hear. So if you want to hear, we should be eager to hear. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prithu Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki jai.